Once again, I am joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Carthric and the Wolf. How are you guys doing today?
I am happy to actually be here. I wasn't sure it was going to happen. I was doing a stream last night, and I raided out, and then about 5 minutes later, I'm saying, "Hey, what's up to Shaka?" And then my internet just cuts, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is fun." So I'm sitting there fighting with the router, fighting with the everything. I finally get the damn company on the phone this morning, and
what the fuck?
That was really loud.
that was very loud, but also very well timed.
It was indeed. So yeah, managed to get everything working again. So we're here. I'm live. Yeah. I'm able to have internet services.
Can we all really appreciate as well how dependent we all are on electricity and internet connection? Because the levels of anxiety and cortisol that sort of floods my system whenever I have something of minor inconvenience to my electricity or internet is quite frankly unwarranted. And God. I become a useless shell of a man. I'm like, what do you mean there's no internet? What do people even do without internet? No electricity? Well, I guess I'll just go bang these rocks together, sit on the floor and cry. I'm glad you sorted it out, Wolfie, because it means we can have this show tonight. And as you know, we do have a jam-packed agenda today.
Oh, yes.
Of mostly rambling. We're going to have a couple of musings as well. We'll have some musings. And we'll also probably talk about a thing or two as well. So stay tuned. Yeah. How you doing, Karth? What's news, buddy?
I don't know. Nothing
Holy
too
shit,
exciting.
Karth doesn't know.
I mean, we're just. There's not much happening between the last one and this one, besides the new Datacron set. Gideon and yeah. I feel like that's the highlight of that whole Moff Gideon thing was the ISC rework, which is
Gideon getting overshadowed by ISC rework.
Yeah, dude, that unique. I understand why they did it, and I think they're gonna put a clause in there that is gonna be calling out Moff Gideon specifically, or it's going to further curtail what the team can be made of, because clearly they don't want it beating GLs, or at least JMK.
All you have to do is watch the first 20 seconds of any ISC video with Maul to realize that is not how this should have been functioning. Come on.
No,
it is great, but it feels like an April Fool's joke. You know what I mean? It's like, by the way, ISC and Gar Saxon rule the holotables. Go get them, boys. And you're like, wait, what? Excuse me? ISC doing multiple hits of 25,000, 30,000 odd true damage and attacking 16,000 times in any given turn is kind of nutty. It's kind of like, are you sure this is how it was supposed to go? I don't know. Have you got any gear on yours, Wolf?
Oh, no. I mean, I think my Gar and ISC are gear 12. I haven't really used them very much. I know you said, do you have any gear on them? And I said, no, they're gear 12. Because we're just in that sort of realm where unless they're relics, then you don't have anything.
That is the day and age we live in, man. It's relics or nothing. And it's not even just relics or nothing. It's kind of relic 5 or nothing. Minimum. Which, funnily enough, is all that it's all that Karth's account consists of now, is relic 5 or nothing. There is
Relic 5 or higher. There we go.
There is nothing lower in his account right now, and how stupid is that?
It's a little bit wild.
It is.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable commenting while he's not here to defend himself. But you crazy! You crazy!
No. Now is the best time. Get your licks in while you can. This stupid ass motherfucker. We know we love Karth around here. If it wasn't for Karth, we would be playing an entirely different game. I'm sure.
Yes,
everything would be in black and white because CG couldn't afford to color any of the models otherwise. So
there's a Twitch viewer around Prime Force is the name. He's been asking for a Gar rework for several years now, and he has been just absolutely giddy now that Gar and ISC are actually doing things together.
Getting giddy for Gideon. Speaking as a man of culture with a Relic 9 Gar Saxon. I was extremely disappointed that he didn't get a touch-up, Because my ISC is still Gear 1.
well, ISC got the touch-up that works with Gar. Yeah. That means there's still room for Gar himself to get an Omicron.
Yeah. I'm waiting for part 2. I'm waiting for part 2, the other shoe to drop. Because Gar Saxon cannot get a touch-up by proxy. That's not fair. I'm not Relic 9ing ISC, guys. Stop it. Like, come on.
Like, unless you're told to.
Unless I'm told, I will not, unless you guys make it happen. But again, I haven't jumped on the bandwagon just yet because I've seen ISC do great stuff, obviously, with a really it's Maul, Gar, and ISC basically just stomping on everything, and that's great and everything. But they have already said they're looking into it, so I don't want to. I'm going to wait and see what CG does with ISC before I start investing gear there, because
there's also like the thing where it still has the same problem. Like Maul already kills things very, very well. Maul already shits out damage, is already able to counter a lot of stuff if you get that interaction going with Watt and start the bonus turn and Candyman and everything. So this makes him do it better, but you're still taking Maul off your Lord Vader team,
which is still shit.
So it's still a trade-off. It's still
a huge trade-off, and I feel like currently Maul is. I think I've talked about this before, but it feels like Maul is just getting pulled in every direction right now. Right? Yeah. It's like you want him with Lord Vader, because if you've not got Maul with Lord Vader on defense, Lord Vader is trash. It's not trash. I don't want to say it's trash, but it's like it'll get beat a hell of a lot easier for a hell of a lot better banners, right? And then where'd you put it? You put it with Malos, so Malos can do something useful on offense. If you don't put it with Malos, does he run his own Muldalorians with Gar and ISC? It's like all of them can punch up, all of them can beat GLs. So where are you sacrificing it, and what do you do? Like you take Maul away from Lord Vader. Lord Vader can still beat stuff like Rey, for example. Certain Reys with certain Datacron sets, that's okay. Doesn't need Maul there. But with if it's not for that, I don't need a Lord Vader that's going to beat gas. That's not valuable to me.
Without Maul, you're timing out to Jawa. Like, it's just happening.
For sure.
You're going to
sure.
time out.
I mean, I've heard that there's this unit called Slacker. I think it's called. It might be Slicker. Not sure. But apparently he does good stuff against Jabba.
It's a regional pronunciation. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a soft S. What the hell is a soft S? But yeah. We did start that farm, guys. We are on the ticket farm for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Oh, right. You got to go on the other day. Okay.
Yeah, baby. We've done all of the first 2 tiers. So we are now starting on the wonderful dual phase of the unlock.
Oh, God. The Faint
I'm
Strike,
so glad
Parry
that
Strike.
never... Faint Strike Parry, baby. I'm going to have that tattooed.
Faint Strike, 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 dun dun!
I'm so glad that I didn't put that down as a charity stretch goal. You decide Scribble's tattoo, and it would be something like Faint Strike, Parry Strike.
Absolutely, it would be. More likely I heard Rose, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I do. I mean, she's a wonderful, wonderful individual. But yeah, we have started on that, and thankfully, from what I remember, you only have to do it 3 times, right? 3 times on the Faint Strike, Parry Strike, and then it's never again, done and dusted, and we can move on to the Ultimate Farm. And I haven't dropped any tickets, so... Exactly.
So you already have Rey, so you've already done the other Faint Strike, Parry Strike, the other
exactly.
Exact carbon copy of the damn event sort of thing. So.
Yeah, the mirror, the reverse protagonist version of it. Yeah. So
I mean, the cinematics weren't bad. Going back and forth between the 2
no,
scenes.
It was cool,
that was done pretty cool, but it was just
great. It's just the gameplay sucks.
That is one of those situations where there was actually such a crazy backlash from the community. CG actually backed off because they said they were looking into doing stuff like that as future game modes and something interesting and something cool, and maybe this will be a new kind of thing to do. And it was like, nope, no,
absolutely not.
No, bad, no.
From the art perspective, it was actually really flipping cool. And the different camera angles and everything like that, that was really cool. It's just, if the gameplay is boring and your modding doesn't matter and your strategy, to be honest, doesn't matter because it's Faint Strike, Parry Strike.
Yes. It's literally just follow this instructions.
It's that, but then back then people were just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Let's just hit buttons and hope until after a week or so people figured it out. It's just like, do you think they'll ever? No, MJ, I don't think we'll ever see character banning again. Because that was something that they did experiment with. Do you remember that in TW? You used to be able to ban certain characters, and I appreciated them doing something different, but it was so frustrating. It's like, yay, my brand new Jedi Knight Revan. What do you mean I can't use him?
Exactly.
Yay, got Darth Revan.
On Malik? Oh, sorry, you can't use your Malik. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's pretty much what you got used for. Just people who didn't invest trying to even the tables, which I can understand.
Honestly though, I really didn't mind the crazy TW modifiers. I'm throwing it out there. Having a TW where Jawas were just knucking futs, having Mace solo entire Sith teams at like Gear 10, that was amazing. I loved that. That was actually refreshing and different and fun and cool. But for some reason or another, people didn't like it. I thought it was quite interesting. So,
give me all hands on deck. Give me full Wookiees again. Let's make it happen. Or full Chewies. Sorry.
I did try it in round 1 of GAC, Wolfie. Turns out, doing an all hands on deck team and a walking carpet Chewie team, it doesn't hold on defense. I've got empirical testing done. Oh, I got beat. Somehow I got beat. I don't know how. I thought I was unstoppable, but no. Turns out those teams don't hold.
Did you check and see what they used against your teams out of curiosity?
Yeah, I think it was literally like, I'll just use a solo GL to kill everything on your team. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Just have fun with it. Maybe like send in all like a bunch of Vaders and Anakins against the Han. Maybe something. Come on.
How often do you get that opportunity going into GAC and you're like, wow, this guy's a dumbass? Like that level of dumbassery in Kyber. I think, was I in Kyber 1 at that point? I think I still was. No, I wasn't. I'd already dropped down to Kyber 2.
I did once actually. I did have one GAC. I'm trying to remember who it was against. It was so long ago. But I think it was 3v3. And we just set up a bunch of stupid teams. So I had like the Escape from Cloud City team where it was Rolo hanging out with Chupio and young Lando. And Lando. It was like all Lukes and all Vaders. And then for attacking things, I was doing like, oh, there's a bunch of Lukes over there. Well, let me send in Cold Han with Wampa and something else, and those guys are gonna take him out. And it was just like the most mean defenses and attack teams ever.
I don't think I've heard of him called Cold Han before. I like that. When you said Cold Han, I immediately thought of Frozen in Carbonite Han. I was like, what, you have him? I thought it was just a meme. My days.
No, he's got a few names. He's Cold Han, he's North Face Han.
North Face Han, I know. Hoth Han.
Hoth Han, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously the obvious one.
Yeah, but that's because he was on Hoth.
Is that? Oh, I was trying to piece that together.
I'm just here spreading knowledge, guys. I've got a deep and Yeah, I get it. Welcome back, by the way, Karth. I take it you had a work emergency call. You had to put out a few fires.
It was my old man calling, so.
Oh yeah, well that's important too. I tend to click ignore when my. No, that's not true at all. Daddy, I love you. He doesn't listen to this podcast.
No, he just. Come on. I was trying to talk to him yesterday, and he didn't answer, and so he called me back today and was just like, "What'd you need?" And we're just talking about stuff for work. He's gonna come help this week, and so I was like,
so it wasn't like, I needed you yesterday, Dad. God damn it, you're dead to me.
No. Just a like get expectations set, because he has a different viewpoint on how things should happen sometimes, and I'm a bigger fan of the proper preparation makes for expedient work. And just more of let's just have expedient work, and I'm like, that's not how this works. Stop it.
He's like, just do it though.
Exactly.
Just do it and do it now.
Just do it. So yeah, it's that. So I needed it because he's headed up here right now. He's about an hour and a half away. So, anyways,
he's coming all that way to give you an ass whooping. That's what it is. He's now listen, son. The belt comes off. Going old school. This is apparently a Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly. That's what it says in the description, until it gets to a point that we can go off rails enough and on a frequent basis enough that we can just turn it into three guys just talk shit about life, which it might eventually turn into, who knows. But for now, this is the quintessential Galaxy. Forget things like the Gambit podcast and the Holonet News Network and... Quickly, guys, name other podcasts for Galaxy of Heroes.
Are there even any other? I don't even know any.
This is the only one. All right, this is the only one that deserves your attention.
So, what did we leave? I left in the middle of bringing up something, and now I don't even remember what it was, and I don't remember what you guys talked about. So,
I appreciate looking at the ceiling to see what you brought up, but
bringing up my expectations. Was that what it was? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Galaxy of Zeros. That's another one. And just so let it be known, I actually listen to quite a few Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcasts, and they're all wonderful. So yeah, don't at me.
Facetious.
Yes, they're all shit. No, sorry, wait a minute. No, earlier I was facetious. Right now I'm being entirely not facetious.
Yeah, unfacetious.
Yeah. I'm being completely unfacetious right now. That's a word. Google it.
All words are made up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of,
Carth was talking. Oh, sorry, go on.
No. Carth was talking about something, but I can't remember what. So
I can't either. I got distracted.
Yeah.
Something saying how there's nothing going on in Galaxy of Heroes. We have Moff Gideon kit, and somehow there's nothing going on. We have datacrons, and somehow there's nothing going on.
Oh yeah, we were talking about ISC. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yes, ISC
yeah.
and this rework, and it's the most beautiful.
ISC was good. Yeah.
I really hope they keep the damage that high, but they put a clause in for like you need to have like Moff Gideon in the team for that damage to stay, because if they do want to build a full-on light side Mando team with a new Bokatan leading that, which I'm all for, then Moff Gideon inside of 5v5 like Grand Arena would have a decent home. But I mean, at the same time, Moff Gideon and Maul under Lord Vader looks pretty enticing too, because now you got a revive on Maul.
Yeah,
that's pretty nasty.
That's a lot.
And on top of that, you have a stupid thick tank that is just gonna his Beskar unique is just the stats are ridiculous. 100% crit avoidance, 50% defense.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you can't crit him, which is actually gonna be the best thing for Lord Vader, because like Slacker's gonna have a harder time landing unless he's got advantage. He can't land the crits, and so
Mando's not gaining turn meter.
So there's a lot of crazy things happening with that. I think realistically, outside of TW, he's gonna go camp with Lord Vader, and even then, honestly, I think if you throw on the Beskar armor Omicron.
Yep.
And throw him under Lord Vader, you're still going to wind up with a better team than Moff Gideon with the Imperial Remnant.
Yeah, which, I mean, it just goes to show, really, the state of Lord Vader, that he needs 2 fucking lifter units. Like,
I mean, it's solely...
People were throwing fucking Reva, Grand Inquisitor, 7th Sister, and Maul with Lord Vader just to make him do something.
Well,
then he died to Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Phoenix. That's actually the best thing in the world is that the Phoenix shut off the Inquisitor counter.
I love it.
But the Phoenix can't. Phoenix has a very hard time beating Lord Vader with the normal Empire.
It does.
Setup.
Yeah. You need that constant source of debuffs that are taking out a turn with.
Yeah, if you don't get the cooldowns from Chopper or a couple other different knickknacks.
You need the TM. That's the big.
Well, the
thing.
TM, yeah, but the cooldown reduction, you have. If it's so, in what I'm trying to say is that with the Empire team, is you have less opportunities to get your cooldown reductions because you're not looping turns while you're spamming your abilities.
So we're talking the same thing. I'm talking about the TM giving us more turns. You're talking about the cooldown reduction because you're gaining more turns.
Well, you get more chances to get your cooldowns back on track. If you have to buy a turn, it's not going to end your run. Which the other one is just not the case. If you're not doing everything perfectly, it's like it goes to hell very, very fast.
I mean, this is actually one of the reasons why I like that Phoenix counter so much, is that it's quite specific. Even in the right scenario, it's not 100%. It can still go wrong if you go against like a full, Inquisitorious setup. I say not full, with Maul in there as well. It can still go wrong. It's not 100% counter, and by any means, even with, a couple of R9s, good modding, and good datacrons. And it doesn't work against a standard Vader comp. I like the fact that it's not perfect, and I think that's how all soft counters should be to GLs, in my opinion. Opinion, it's one of the bones of contention that I have with things like Starkiller versus Rey, is that it's basically a 95% success rate counter against any Rey comp. It's like it's a little too consistent for my liking.
You say that.
I would say there's some ones that have just been the sortie L3 Ben Barris whatever
JTM?
comps. I mean those ones.
Barris, yeah.
Oh god. Those where you just sit there and just waste so much time on L3, you end up like timing out or something. All the dodges, you stack so much faster, you can't get around anybody.
The dodges can certainly do stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it just starts to get to be a bit much.
Yeah.
It'll fade with set 9 going away because we don't have as much built up for it, and there's not as much bulk anymore. So that's going to be a massive change in the Starkiller's effectiveness. Set 11 still has the bulk stats of the defense, health steal, that kind of stuff.
Honestly, Kath, I'm not sure I agree with that, because most Reys that I face are using bulk crons as well, and I think that's a net gain for the Starkiller team, not the Rey team, in my opinion. I think Rey losing 75% stats is going to be huge.
Well, 60, but yeah,
I think that makes it easier to beat in those stall-out teams.
In those stall-out teams, yes, Rey is going to become a lot more. Well, I think that was my initial point, was that the bulk crons on Rey are what's giving them.
The bulk, so
yeah, she loses the bulk, but she regains some of the stats still in set 11. So it's not like it's going to be easier. But you're gonna have to roll dice on what's more effective, because you're actually gonna be able to use more of the set 11 cron for your Starkiller team because of the UFAs on it.
But even without the set 11, like armor penetration with Starkiller is still pretty damn huge. Yeah. Like he hits so damn hard with armor pen.
Basically the only thing after this that's gonna make Starkiller a challenge is people who have R9 JTRs, because it does not take much.
Watch out for that mastery.
Yeah, it does not take much ramping to hit it.
So rude.
But that's about it. That's all you got to really do differently.
Honestly, I've been umming and ahhing it in my head, and I'm still thinking of trying to remod and datacron my Rey for crit avoidance and tenacity, and just like I want something that's. Well, I mean,
no, it doesn't, because you have vulnerable on Mara Jade.
Yeah.
But what I want to, that vulnerable only gets applied for one turn, and I don't know if that gets applied before or after the tenacity down. So I'm pretty certain you can ignore that. You can resist the vulnerable at the same point. So if they can't crit you with crit avoidance, and tenacity down, I'm completely agree with you. But if they can't crit you, they can't get rid of inspiration. That's the point I'm trying to make.
We have to see how much tenacity you would actually need to stack up, because you need 100% more tenacity than you do potency in order to resist.
You need a lot.
So
yeah.
We
used to do it. We used to be able to do it.
Yes. It was more against... and
again, tenacity down is... tenacity down in particular is a one-turn
but the
debuff as well.
And my only
definitely stopped Vader counter pretty good, because you didn't land the dots as well. But for this one, I don't know, with the EP lead, with the everything, with the Mara, I think they may have enough potency that the amount of tenacity that you'll need to invest may just make her too squishy to actually be a benefit.
The thing of it is too, though, is that
I'm open to it. I would like to see how it goes.
You're gambling too much on a crit avoidance cron. It might catch somebody off guard who doesn't have a Relic 8. Starkiller, and they'll stall out on it. But I mean, you're giving up so many stats because the crit avoidance is only on set 10.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It has nothing to do for resistance. Barely has anything useful for light side besides speed up on basic. Mm-hmm. So you're just made of paper. I think that trying to go crit avoidance, it's just not going to slow it down enough. Like, yeah, you could ramp. It could get really out of control if they can't get out of it, but I think Starkiller will just chew through the rest of your team fast enough. I mean, it's just so much crit avoidance to have to stack into it and re-roll and everything else.
No. I wouldn't even think about re-rolling. God, no. It's just right now, with the current way the datacrons are set up, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of inundated with materials.
What's the current stats?
Oh, God, off the top of my head.
Yeah,
the current for set 11
right now.
It's like
set 11. It's the same as set 9.
Offense CD.
Are we talking about set 10, 9 or 10 or 11?
The newest one.
It's the same as set 9.
So it's health.
Health protection, health steal,
defense.
Everything besides accuracy, crit damage. Okay.
Yeah, it's everything besides offense. Set 9 had offense on it as well.
Yeah.
So they dropped that one, but you still have a lot better stats, and there's UFA tags that you can use with the Ray team. That you didn't have in the other one. That could cause some more heartache. We'll find ways to play it perfectly when we get through to it. But for material wise, they are definitely clamping hard on materials going from set 9 to 11.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that recently. Like the dusting is giving us a crap load more data cache, but fuck all more materials now.
We're getting 1.5 million more data cache per datacron being dusted from set not what we got from when set 8 went to set 10. We got 2 million. When set 9 goes to set 11, we get 4. So it's 2 million more on that comparison. But we're getting like infinitely less upgrade materials. We used to get 300 Mark 1s, 120 Mark 2s, and 20 Mark 3s per dusting. Now you get 50, 25, and 10. Yeah, for level 9.
Now you're getting. It's like it's a fraction. It's a fraction of what we used to get. It annoys me that they don't actually announce this change. There's no post that CG says, by the way, we're changing the dusting. Because if they said about it, they never will. But if they did, the amount of public outroar that there would be around that would be like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, but they're just gonna keep coming back with this. Well, we're tuning in on the back end to find the best user experience. So it's like it's always they're just gonna give us
they'll have the same line.
It'll be PR speak. It's just it's annoying, is what it is.
I'm with you.
So
100%.
Change.
Yeah, one like way too much data cache, especially with those that don't actually check that breakdown material and just wait for everything to dust, and then they end up losing like 20 million data cache that they would otherwise have because of the overflow.
So much to get rid of.
But then people are losing even more out of their investment because the bottleneck is not data cache, not anymore. Like at some point it'll become the bottleneck, I guess, but really it's going to be reroll mats and the level 2 and the Mark 2 and the Mark 3. That's always the bottleneck as far as investment is, at least from my experience.
There's a bigger incentive now to go back and farm harder on those. To farm harder Conquest is live. To push the 200s on the refreshes and stuff like that to get your materials up and to have enough to get your first 15 datacrons up and running for the first week of first season of 3v3.
Yeah,
and so that's what the push is for, is to get players to spend on that particular side of things. Which I mean, I don't like, but at the same time, it's like if you're gonna make this so inconsistent, can we get some higher caps for because players the players who actually invest heavily datacrons, I mean, it's gonna be a juggling act. Like I'm gonna have to, when Conquest starts on Monday, I am going to have to go through probably the hundreds before my daily refresh happens, and then through the 200s afterwards, just to get enough materials to start burning through my data cache. Because I got 20 million right now, and I've got like 20 more crons to dust. Yeah, and it's just I'll probably lose data cache this go around because I don't have another option. I don't have any saved up from the previous set to burn into, but I don't have any the new stuff so hard to get your hands on right now. Yeah. It's just I can't even fight it. So it's like, well,
I'm the same. Like I need to over the next day or so spend my data cache because my deconstruct, my dusting right now is giving me 40 million. And obviously that's 10 million wasted, and I've already got 10 million in the bank, and I've upgraded everything I can upgrade, and I've even gone through and re-rolled a bunch of stats on stuff that I've got in the later set, and I'm just like, I don't know where I can spend an extra 20 million data cache right now. So I'm probably just going to have to lose out.
If you don't have the materials for it, just 100% go pound sand.
Well, exactly. And that's such a stupid... Like, it's... The weird thing for me is... It's so punishing towards players that invest more in stuff like Conquest and farming datacrons. Like, why are we being punished for giving you more of our crystals?
Like, you have to micromanage the transition so much harder than you would have to otherwise. Exactly. If you were lazy and didn't invest it all, you have to do just sit there and let it happen. Otherwise, you just micro...
They should double the cache limit or something. Give us 60 million in that cache. It's not going to break the fucking system. Like,
it would make more sense previously to allowing Conquest or refresh every 6 hours instead of once a week. That made data cache far more accessible, and people started buying it at least once a day.
Oh yeah, I used to save
up to save up for it, and so. Data cache was a lot more readily available, and so it's like, okay, we've drastically increased the supply of data cache by like a factor of like 100.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, spend charge up currency, but it's every 6 hours. You can spend it's 500 charge up currency for 1 million data cache.
That's great value.
It's pretty attainable throughout a day to get 500 charge up currency a day, especially towards end game accounts. So it's just like, it's not that hard to get it, and so there's so much more of it, and then you just sit there and go, okay, well, I guess now I need more datacrons to level up, which I think is part of their point, but the materials are so hard to get, and it's so not worth spending, unless you want to be like the guys at the very top who are like Ultra Krakens, who are like, by the way, I've already got 10 level 9 datacrons. I'm like, you do that right now. You will have.
Didn't Heinze do a video of the last set when these changes came in, and he got like 19 level 9 crons the very day it came out in the store? It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, when they changed the store, when the store was broken for the beginning of set 9, I want to say it 9. They abused the crap out of that.
And I don't blame them, but I mean, datacrons help massively in stuff like GAC and Territory Wars, right? But ultimately, it's only going to help you punch up a little bit, and sometimes at the very top end, that little bit makes a big difference, right?
Oh yeah.
So, y'all chilling in like Erodium, you don't need to worry so much, unless you happen to have a boatload of high relic teams that you can actually use it in. It's
right.
It's kind of it's still a little bit of a niche market, datacrons, a little bit, because if you don't have the characters and if you don't have 10 relic 5 teams, or in this case, I guess relic 1 teams, then you don't necessarily need to have 10 level 9 crons.
You can be a lot more discerning and just build up a few crons for the few relic teams that you have,
exactly,
as opposed to needing 30 from each set.
Exactly, and that's insane. This latest set, I'm pushing more datacrons right now than I've ever had as far as high level datacrons are concerned, and that's largely due to the changes in the store. So it's steadfast resolve. What I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 level 9s, which is more than I've ever had, and I know 12 is not a lot, but But I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 level 8s, and then a level 7, and a couple of 5s and 3s. And it's like, that's literally a full set of 30, and over half of them are like level 9 or level 8. That's a lot for me, and I'm not a whale, you know? I'm just...
Yeah, well, it really just comes down to the accessibility of data cache, because it's not really about... If you are through the entirety of Conquest doing at least 6 sims a day, and if, let's say, you do Conquest in 7
refreshes.
days... 6 refreshes a day. And you take 7 days to get through Conquest, leaves you 7 days to farm. If you are still doing those 6 refreshes a day...
Which means using all your 100 crystal refreshes.
Yep. You are going to be in a decent spot for each Conquest to walk away with probably 7 to 10 datacrons that are level 9. Because you don't need to farm data cache anymore. You just go buy that. You know, and so basically
mostly.
every day, basically every 2 days, you can get a level 9 cron with the data cache that you can buy from the if you bought it every refresh. But that's just the pace they put it at. So it's much fast. It used to take you 2 to 3 days of farming a data cache node to get enough data cache to level up to level 9. So they've taken that out entirely and allowed you to do more farming inside of Conquest for specifically the upgrade materials. So you still have plenty of time to do it. It's the transition that's going to suck if they keep netting down how much we get out of them. I would be more okay if it was like a 5-to-1, if it took 5 level 9s from the previous set to give me enough Mark III upgrades for the next set to hit a level 9, which is like 200 something. I'm okay with that. Like, I don't mind a 5-to-1 or a 4-to-1 conversion on that kind of stuff, because I would like to have a benefit for heavily investing into a Datacron set, and that if that just gives me a leg up on the next set.
Outside of the benefit of actually doing it for GSE and TW. But I do think I'd like, because the other side of it is, how about this? We give you nothing for when it dusts. Like, you know, that would suck.
I think you would have players infinitely more turned off on
absolutely
on Datacrons if that were the case, because it's like you invest into it and then you get nothing out of it, and that would be just a huge poo-poo flavor in your mouth. But but anyways, we'll see what happens. I think set 11 is going to bring a lot of diversity in the crons, because even though there's only 4 factions, the factions bleed quite heavily into different things.
So
there's a lot of crossover, a lot of little things here and there that you're picking up, and we can use this here, and this cron will actually affect this team, and definitely will be interesting.
Good stats.
Somebody who's actually read into these, because I have not read enough into these Datacron sets. I've just had too much on my plate recently. At my first glance, particularly at Malos, because we all knew Malos was getting a level 9. It's gonna happen. He's the new goddamn Conquest character. He's getting level 9. But I remember looking at it and thinking, it's okay. It's not like, oh my god, Malos. It's just kind of like, it's okay. Unless I'm like completely missing a really big part of his kit. Like, what do you guys think about Malos in particular for the Datacron, the level 9?
The resilient defense and everything in there with the 5 stacks of it looks like I don't even know. Like, I'm honestly trying to form an opinion about this, and some people are just like, this looks like shit. I don't want this. I don't want a taunt on my damn Malos. It's a resilient defense. That's terrible. That's the worst thing in the world.
The only thing that I was kind of thinking with the resilient defense is there is a level 3 that lets you stack defense on characters when they gain buffs on unaligned force users, and I was thinking maybe there's like, okay, you can stack up to 200% additional defense on your Malos. But again, and the taunt, it makes him counterattack, so he gains more Edge of Madness. But I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I still don't know if this is great. Like, it feels like it's just kind of, okay. I'm not sure I want him taunting, you know? Even if it is only for 3 turns. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I know he gains other stuff apart from that. I'm trying to actually bring up the the Datacron set here, but I'm failing at multitasking right now.
Multitask harder.
Multitask harder. Oh yeah, that's a very good point. Why don't I, Wolfie? You are a savant, a SWGOH savant, and I am just a mere imposter.
My good man, I simply do what I can.
I do what I must. Yes.
Yeah, so unless there's like some benefit to him taunting at the start of battle that I'm entirely missing somewhere, like I guess to stack
it's
up
just gonna ramp his Edge of Madness faster.
Yeah.
It's gonna be guaranteed counterattacks. He's gonna get...
Which he gets a bonus turn then, I think, when he gets to 20 stacks, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
If he uses his first special, before his Die Whelp, his other one, he'll take a bonus turn there if he's got 20 stacks of Edge of Madness, and then he converts it to Madness Manifested, and then you can throw rocks at people and all that sort of bullshit, right? And that kills everybody.
Throwing rocks at people. Oh my god! Star Wars
I just want to go outside and start throwing rocks at people. That's what Tara Malikos wakes up every day thinking that. I think.
Yeah, that's just what he does.
At the start of battle, he gains 5 stacks of Edge of Madness and 3 stacks of Resilient Defense. So that's the taunt that Mace gets, for example, and Savage gets with the Omicron. Edge of Madness, if he's got 20 stacks of that, when he uses his first special, he converts that into Madness Manifested, which gives him some additional benefits for when he uses his Die Whelp ability. I think it does like 50% extra damage or something. Can't remember. Top of my head. Okay, so the first time he gains 20 stacks of Edge of Madness, he gains a bonus turn and his cooldowns reset. I can see that last line can be quite useful, I guess. Yeah. So he hits that 20 stacks super quickly. He gains a bonus turn. He uses his first turn. He gains another bonus turn, basically, right? He'll throw rocks, and he probably kills someone. Unless it's like a GL, and then he probably still kills someone unless it's like Lord Vader or
it may
Jabba
supercharge him and get him just going off the bat. Maybe. I mean, we'll have to see.
Maybe I'm underestimating it. Maybe I'm underestimating it.
I think it's when you start looking at how things get paired with the different level 6s and level 3s that are available. I think there are going to be some things that are going to have a powerful combination when you put them together. The stacking defense whenever they gain a buff is going to kind of be fun for that. The whenever an Ufu grants a buff to another ally, the ally gains turn meter. That could be kind of fun because Cal's always granting buffs. So there's a lot to do with that. Steer grants buffs, so there's gonna be a lot of TM generation that you could get with. The dark side stuff, unfortunately, there's nothing super crazy that I would probably do whenever they use a basic, they get critical chance up, critical damage up, and offense up for 2 turns. Because everything else kind of
that will pair well with the level 6 as well. To gaining the buffs means that they're going to be stacking defense as well, right? So it's all quite useful, right?
There's going to be a few things. I think they're definitely muted from previous sets. Like and the characters that shine are clearly going to be the newest. The newest Drogon's level 9 is absolutely
oh my god
sideways bonkers.
Like if my first reaction to the Drogon one, not the Drogon one, sorry, the Malikos one was kind of like, but then you see the Drogon one and you're like, oh shit, oh Drogon gonna be nasty. But that makes sense, I guess. Sorry, Garth, keep talking. It's just where they push different things. Like Drogon's is really powerful. Leia's is really kind of like mid at best. The Imperial Trooper ones are kind of weird because I don't really care for any of them. It's like they just
meh. Stark
meh.
Stark himself gains crit damage and defense penalty. Meh, who cares?
But when he crits, though, it's like it's only when he crits. It's not when he uses his basic. If it was
it's only him getting the stats. If it was all of his allies got the stats,
if it was shared, it would be.
Then we're talking.
It would be a lot nicer.
Aiden's is okay if you want to utilize her in a different way than using her for like the Imperial Troopers Part 2 team. If you wanted to utilize her for a filler, but there's just
the like genuinely, I feel like the item Versio one is actually not meant for her leading, like because if she's leading, she ain't getting targeted, so she won't really go below 30% health. Not till the end, and by that point it doesn't matter. But in like throwing that in as a cleanup to Lord Vader, all of a sudden that's not so bad. She drops below 30% health, she gets a bonus turn, she cleanses all the Imperial troopers, they then finish off Lord Vader. Like, it's a very niche use, but I feel like it works so much better when she's not the lead compared to when she is the lead, which is a really strange thing.
It's going to be one of these things where we're going to have to sit there and play the game of, like, so, like, the level 6s on like Imperial Troopers are actually kind of fun, right? Because you get whenever they defeat an enemy, they take a bonus turn. They have at the start of their first turn, Imperial Trooper allies gain offense equal to 400% of their current defense.
That's and then they lose defense, right?
Then they lose.
That one's actually going to be solid on like an item team because Stormtroopers will be passing out all the defense with this unique. So
exactly.
Should come into play, right?
Point,
it will.
There's also defense as a stat in this set, right? So I mean, you'll be able to bulk it up a little bit. We've definitely had that one before, though, right?
We have,
we've had that
before.
Not necessarily for Imperial Troopers, but we've definitely had
It
was for Sith. Oh yeah, I remember it. It was on Malgus, right?
Malgus,
damn.
Exactly.
I remember that.
We had defense on that too. That was atrocious.
That was atrocious.
But there's a few things I think what the hardest part with this current Datacron set is that it's the combination of all three tiers together where we're getting a decent amount of power out of the teams and how they can abuse those mechanics. But looking at like the individual ones, it's kind of like, well, I mean, it's okay.
To be fair, on Imperial Troopers, the level 3 dark side ally using a basic ability gain crit chance, crit damage, and offense up. Three buffs on a basic in an Imperial Trooper team.
Yeah.
Hello,
once they take a turn.
Holy shit!
Once they take a turn,
that's it. Game over.
There's also the sleeper one for troopers, which is the protection up at the start of battle. That's a buff.
Oh, yeah. It is a buff. That is actually really huge because that lets you that's 10% additional TM for the whole team, which is huge. It's huge because sometimes all you need is that first turn, baby. You need that first turn, but
sometimes that's all you need, and then troopers take care of the rest. So I mean, if that 10% takes you there, then it's a situational thing.
And if it nearly takes you there, then you can probably still do the whole let's throw what in to pass some additional buffs at the start to give us an additional 10% TM across the board, and then you definitely should, because we all know how much bonus TM at the start of the battle can turn the tide. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And this set again is a Relic 135, right? As opposed to 357. So it's a little bit more accessible. Works for me because a lot of my Imperial Troopers may not have the most Relic levels in the world. So
you're not.
We got a raid coming up, all right? Play some damn relics.
Yeah.
Might I remind you of the whole? I think it's called slacker thing. Eating up all my goddamn. It's a soft K. It's Slaker. He's eating up all my goddamn relic materials, man. I mean, at least
you done farming shards yet?
No. I need to do the three duels, and then I'm done. Which is like an extra 180 dark side shards, and I've got like 50 right now or something.
How many?
How many are you? Earlier while you were gone, it was good.
How many are you? I'm refresh. You doing today?
I'm still only doing the 50s, but unfortunately, I'm also farming Princess Nisa, and she's light side, so she's eating up all my energy.
And Nisa is my drop rate on her has been awful, by the way.
Yeah, like I shit you not, I've been doing 15 sims a day on Nisa. The past 2 days, I've had 4 shards combined. 30 sims, 4 fucking shards.
Out of the last 5 days, 4 of those days, out of 15 sims, I get 3 shards. And then one day I got...
For 4 days?
for the last week, I've gotten 3 shards a day for 15 sims, and then one of those 5 days, I got like 11 shards.
Oh wow! Yeah, swings and roundabouts, guys. This is why it often feels like shard drops are just like so biased, because it's so easy to forget the day when you get 11 sims, but you remember those days where you get 1 shard for 15 sims. Yeah. You remember that real well.
Yeah.
Confirmation bias is a thing.
It really is. It really is.
However, I am superstitious to the end of my fucking days over here. Once you get to the end of a farm, I do not finish off that farm. I will not do it. I will buy those last shards from shipments because I fucking they're toying with it.
Yeah.
They're toying with it. Unbelievable.
The one that always gets me, it's like you're on 98 out of 100.
Yes.
And you do 15 sims and you get 1 shard, and then the next day you do 5 sims and you get 5, and you're like, fuck you, CG. You did this deliberately, you schmuck. Or you do those 5 sims and you get no shards, and you refresh it once and then they give you 5, and you're like, I hate you. I hate you.
They're like, you could have just waited a day. Oh, I know I fucking could have. You could just give me a shard, assholes.
If you just gave me like 30,000 crystals, I could just get them out of shipments. Like, it would be fine. Like, come on, CG, hook me up. Hook me up. I'll just give them right back to you. I promise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been there.
So,
definitely shared feeling.
In other news, Karth is ready for the next GL's ult, right?
No, they changed how that was. I misunderstood what they with them. They didn't clarify it in the update post. What they did is that there was a bug that allowed you to equip Leia's ult at 10 instead of 12.
Okay.
So what they did is they refunded everybody who had the ult their 10 mats.
Oh, okay.
And then you had to farm the other 2 to then reapply it. And so they weren't giving us, and they took it away too. So like, I thought they were giving us 10 more mats. No, they took it away and then gave us.
That sucks.
Okay.
So I thought you were just ready for the next ult already.
Yeah, that would have been
really funny.
That would have been fantastic. Like two passes and have the Jawa ult done. That would be, or not all Jawa, but whoever the next dark side or light side GL would be. But
I'm quite certain it's not going to be Jabba. I'm about 90% sure it's not going to be Jabba.
Somehow he returned.
Somehow Jabba returned.
Guys, we've ran out of ideas for GL, so we're just going to do Jabba again. Okay? Is that okay with everybody?
We're going to do a different team though.
It's but who could we use it with? The Hut Cartel are taken. Oh, of course it is. Yes, Clone Wars Jabba.
Exactly. It's Clone Wars Chewie.
God damn it.
New faction, who dis?
New faction, who dis?
Yeah, so that was an unfortunate side effect of them not releasing the update post as the changes happened. So
I got excited to you, Karth.
I got excited too, and then I found somebody who had thought the same as I did, and they took those mats and applied it to their JML.
Oh no!
Not realizing.
Hold up. What?
They were using JML. They were using JML to cheese it, right?
People still do that?
Yeah, they still do it.
How long have they had JML without an ult? You absolute dumb fuck.
I don't have an idea, but I just saw it happen in general chat where they're like, I thought I got 10 additional mats, so I thought I was going to be up and ready. So what I did is I put it on JML, and then I found out after I put it on JML that they had taken Leia's ult away from me, and now I have to refarm Leia's ult entirely to have her unlocked. I got a good laugh at. Well, their whole point is that they do it because they wanted to keep JML doesn't need his ult to
being ready for it.
But always being ready to slap the newest GL's ult within like a day without having to hoard was their hope. I was gonna say, but it wasn't really worth the time.
Like I can half say JML doesn't need his ult, but he is so much better with his ult. He does things far better with his ult than without.
Yeah, if you're not planning on him being like going up against the meta or the newest Datacron sets, then yeah, it doesn't really matter what he does. But
honestly,
for sure.
I would. Peak was bringing it up in chat, and this is the only reason I can see that being halfway useful is the fact that the drops are still bugged if you're farming light side or dark side tickets, right? For stuff like additive drops or bonus drops, that shit is still bugged if you're farming light side tickets. You're getting like twice as many drops as you normally would. Mm-hmm. So that provides value. But just ult your damn JMLs, you heathens. God damn it.
I did not think there were still people doing that. It's 2023. Like that was like 2 years ago type shit. Like that's insane. Oh man.
Well, and when they slowed down the GL's release cadence, like I didn't see the purpose to ever like bother with it. But like again, why would I want one of the most powerful units of the game handicapped because I want an advantage on the next one that releases 9 months from now? It's like if you're committed to having an advantage, then just hoard energy.
There's that, but it's also like it's having like a 2-week advantage, maybe 1 week of GAC advantage worth of benefit.
Yeah,
just fucking all your JML.
Yeah,
it's barely worth the effort, to be honest. And so I gotta get a laugh out of the mentality, but it is what it is.
Speaking of JML, how about that Jedi Knight Cal Kestis? Can he come back yet?
Oh my god. The rumors are still Halloween, so...
The spooky return of Jedi Knight Cal. Somehow, Jedi Knight Cal spookily returned.
My guess is going to be that...
I don't know.
He returns towards the tail end of October. So we got it. 4-ish weeks until 3-4 weeks until
it's the 1st of October for me right now. I assume
same for us.
Me too.
Holy shit! I need to check with Heinzie. Heinzie, is it the 1st of October? No, it's not actually.
October 2nd.
It's actually the 2nd.
Yep. See.
6:30 a.m. over there.
Exactly. We'll wake Heinzie up and ask him what day it is. I'm sure he'll love us for it. He's like, fuck off, it's 6 a.m. on Monday morning, you shit.
We would get an update for it. But we are now officially at the 90-day window when he first came out. Because he came out the 4th of July. It was the first. No, it was the end of June.
It was the end of June, I thought, yeah.
It bled over, I want to say. Was it the 23rd or the 30th? I think it was the 30th. I think it was the last day of June it came out, and then the event ran for the first week of July.
I feel like we talked about this last time and then didn't look it up.
That's probably what happened. But anyway, so that's you basically have July, August, September, and we're now at 90 days.
We wrote it down. We wrote it down right next to the agenda, Wolfie. Okay. That's where it sits.
Yes. I totally have an agenda. It's absolutely a real thing.
But the we're at the 90-day part for it, so the odds are he'll be here in the next 30 days. CG has hinted, or Meathead has hinted that it is a chance for the end of October, but by no means is that a guarantee of when the actual event will come back around.
Of course not. Meathead has also hinted at Red 5 for about 16 months. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but you know.
No, you're not.
I mean,
you're really not.
I don't think you are. I'm pretty sure you're spot on. It's been at least 16 months, right?
It's been 84 years, Wolfie, and we're still waiting for Red 5. No, but I do think it's probably going to be end of this month. I don't care because I've been ready for Cal for like 3 weeks. I just want him back now. Damn it.
I just need an answer on whether to stop hoarding gear or not, because I'm just holding off on gear and applying to anybody because I'm just like, Jedi.
You guys have got gear? God damn it!
Mr. Slacker over.
God damn it, Slacker! Slacker took all of my goddamn gear, and I don't even have him unlocked, and he took it all.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Although to be fair, you know the stream, the charity stream, which started it, was 2 weeks ago. And I've gone from having more or less no investment in First Order to halfway done with unlocking Slacker in his ticket farm in 2 weeks and a bit. So it's not bad.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's got nothing to do with $250 that Cart donated. Absolutely, like fuck off, guys. I'm basically free to play. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Or you just
nearly essentially free to play.
I'm essentially free to play because it wasn't my money.
Right.
I don't think that holds up in court, does it?
I mean,
I've been free to play all day.
Today, I'm definitely been free to play today. Yeah.
Those would be the facts right there.
I'm a born again free to play player. Until tomorrow when Conquest comes out and I got to buy that pass. But after that, I'll be free to play again.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so buying that $30 pass.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, I'm thinking about it. Holy crap! Those bastards know what they're doing.
Well, it's not the burritos per se that's the issue. It's like for the white from a main account, it's the free data disk swapping. It's the faster energy and stamina regeneration. It allows me basically another 5 sims per day out of that. So if you want to take it at the lowest value of 50 crystals a day over the 2-week event, you're still walking away with 700 crystals worth of not having to refresh if you're on the low end, but then on the upper end, it just gives you more to slam in and power through on. And then the additional fact that you don't have to get the kills with Warrior or Wookiees.
There we go! Ding, 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 ding!
Wolfie,
all right.
you've got Relic 7 Wookiees, haven't you, Wolf? You've got Relic 7 Warrior. Or is it Relic 5? Sorry.
Relic 7 Warrior. However, they are single target damage, and they do lots of dots. So.
Oh yeah, but it's Amplify Agony. You'll you'll poke someone and it'll die, right?
Yeah, but you have to kill them with Warrior. They can't just die.
You have to kill them. They can't die to dots, which I'm putting lots of dots on.
That's really irritating, isn't it?
Yes, it's incredibly irritating.
I would have
the other
rather
option
them...
is Ewoks. It's Ewoks.
Come on, everyone's got Nisa. Come on, everyone's got Nisa.
I mean,
Nisa's gonna be a joke to cheese, man. Come on, it's just winning with the team comp. Once you get the datacrons put together, the data discs, it just means you can't start doing
anyway.
it.
So it's not a full team of Ewoks, right? It's just she needs to survive.
Isn't it
it's a full team. It's a full team.
Ewoks, I thought.
That's still gross.
It's a curated team.
I'm sure that
the Phoenix team was like you run the specific Phoenix lineup. It's like that.
I'm actually really surprised they brought back the Phoenix team again. That was weird. I was like, the exact same feat again? 20 wins with Phoenix? I mean, I can do it. It's easy. I mean, it was easy when I didn't have the massive investment. But
I think part of it is like the theme for Moff Gideon. The other part is like we still want to push players to be farming the Leia Rex because she just came out.
And reward those who've invested.
Yeah, so it's just doing easy stuff again.
Yeah, I'll be getting that $30 pack, but that's mostly because it's going to help me make the YouTube guides, because I don't have to worry about wasting a crap ton of energy swapping discs, because I do a lot of swapping discs, because I have to also, in order to make the videos, I have to redo a bunch of battles. I waste so much fucking energy redoing battles and swapping data discs to make those videos. I don't care, because it's content at the end of the day, and I'll do it. But to me, it's worth spending an extra $20, at least for this first set, just to do it,
Right.
And the cherry on the top is not have to worrying. Yeah, exactly. For the first one in particular, the cherry on the top is I don't have to worry about getting kills with Warrior and winning with Ewoks. So, man.
Well, so here's the advantage with the Ewoks. The Ewoks is winning with Chief, Chirpa, Wicket, Paplu, and Logray surviving. So you get the flexibility of 1. So you could do like JML lead with Ewoks.
So I can just do like Lord Vader lead. He just does 1 crush, and they all die to Amplify Agony.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So it's just
never mind. Ewoks.
No Kinesa one for that one. The one that are gonna suck though. And they actually they were better about it. Sector 1 win with 14 battles with 1 Jawa surviving.
And we all have 1 Jawa at least because of Lord Vader. So
yeah. I think it's Jawa.
Jawa.
I mean, for the most part, I think a lot of these will be. tolerable.
I don't think it's a bad set of feats, to be honest with you guys.
But it's just it's a thing. Like it's like when everyone bitches every time it comes out. It's like if you give
every time. Yeah.
Once we get the guides put out, then everything is tolerable. Well,
we're gonna bitch every time because they always have 40 battles of this and 40 battles of this and 100 kills. Yeah. If it sucks, we're gonna bitch. Deal with it.
But it's what they do every time. So it's 100% like.
This is the first time, though, that they've done 100 kills with a character that's not light side, so you can't abuse JML.
And doesn't have it's not like a faction AOE. That has an AOE. Because like if it was 100 kills with Inquisitors, that's fine. I mean, there was Inquisitors when you didn't have good gear. You had your 9th sister who had an AOE. You had your 8th brother who had an AOE. You had your 5th brother who had an AOE. It was easy.
And the amount of debuffs that they do, if you've got Amplify Agony, oh my god, Inquisitors are phenomenal in Conquest.
Oh,
like it's just
insane.
like throw something, everything dies. You're just like, okay.
Reva lead is cheating because they get all the purge stacks at the start, so it's just immediately they all have no health, and then GI gets a bonus turn,
and he's got an AOE.
Not turn leader, a bonus turn. It works at 1%.
I did it all the time, and it was fantastic, and I love it. I mean, it gives me a newfound love for Iden because Iden gets a bonus turn at the start of the encounter, and you know you can burn Iden down to 1% stamina because if you've got the right data disk setup with Amplify Agonies and Volatile Accelerator, bonus turn is like boom with what is it, Ruthless Swiftness to gain TM for your team. It's just like so I'm immediately going to kill one person. And then my whole team takes a turn and kills everybody on the board. It's like, great. You just burn that down all the way. But yeah, no, I love bonus TM, bonus turns, and starting at the start of battle is huge. It's massive.
Ooh, yeah.
Huge. I'm looking forward to Conquest, actually. I always like the first round.
Now you've gone too far.
No, I like the first time it comes round, though. The first time for a new one is where everybody has to learn the most efficient way of getting the feats done, right?
The only interesting one, yeah. That's the one you're thinking about stuff, and you're planning, and you're strategizing, and that's a word, right? I think that's a word.
But strategizerations is exactly. That's the plural of it. By the third time, you're there, you basically just, your butt itches because you really want to unlock the character.
Yes.
But yeah, the first time is fun because it's like it's all new. Yeah. And this one's got some cool new data disks, actually. I think one of them, isn't it like it gives, it's something like, it gives a bonus turn to a random ally. I can't remember what the condition is. It might be like...
It was a silly one. I know what you're talking about.
It just gives you a random ally gains a bonus turn, or a random ally gains 100% turn meter at the end of every enemy's turn, or something like that. It was pretty huge. I was like, that's going to be so goddamn useful, because if you put that in the context of, I'm just going to go in with solo Lord Vader, so he's just going to get a bonus turn every turn. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Why not? That sounds like a really easy way of winning battles.
That's a consumable, not a data disk.
Oh, it's a consumable? Oh, fuck that then. I take everything back. Fuck CG. You're get to hell. Get to hell.
It's a jump the blaster, which is each ally takes a bonus turn at the start of battle. And then that's
That's it.
That's it.
Each ally takes a bonus turn at the start of battle.
Turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody gets a bonus turn.
Everybody, but that's just Frenzy. No, that's not the one I'm talking about.
No.
I'm talking about Disruptive Reaction, new data disk. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, a random ally gains 100% turn meter. That's the one I'm talking about. That's good.
Ooh.
That's a really good. It's a new legendary data disk.
It's okay.
To me, that is huge. Like, that's going to be so good for debuff feats, for buff feats, for just saving stamina. Because like I said, you could go in with a solo GL. Yeah, a lot of the legendary stuck. So this is going to be a 4-dot, probably. But to me, that's actually a really useful 4-dot. Because a bonus turn every time... Well, not a bonus turn, sorry. 100% turn meter, so it won't work with certain things. Like Padme is boned. JMK obviously doesn't get it. If you're dazed, you don't get it. But in so many situations, that is really useful. That's really useful. Like, you know, just going in with a solo GL or going in with like just JML to get mass ability blocks and stuff like that. Every time they take a turn, they're like, I'll take a turn. Yeah.
Or even sitting there on the Phoenix team going, can I take a fucking turn? Maybe sometime. Please, you absolute twat. No? Okay, cool. Yeah. Piss off.
I like the consumable one though, because that's kind of broken.
That's just frenzy tech, right?
No, it's
a bonus turn at the start.
No. There is. It's a consumable data disk that boosts your consumables.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that is actually really cool. Yeah. 25% speed. Whenever you use a consumable.
Stat increases from booster consumables are increased by 100%. Booster and med pack consumables grant 25% speed.
Yep, that's huge.
Does not stack with the other legendary consumable boost data disk. I'm curious to see how many of these they sell with the Conquest pass. Because I would. To it. I would almost want to say that they're going to have.
I don't know about you guys, but the end of Conquest, I always have like an inventory full of consumables that I just never bother fucking using. So with something like that, like 25% speed is huge. That's a lot of speed.
Yeah, it's always depending on the feats though. Like that's the thing that drives the consumables. Because like if you need one for like frenzy, where you have to get in front of people or whatever else, or like things like that, then you're in a different can of worms of whatever you need to use to push that forward.
And that would be real quick, just to, you were saying earlier, Scrap, the jump the blaster, each ally takes a bonus turn to start a battle. That's different from the frenzy, because that's an actual bonus turn. That's like Han, that's like Watch.
It's so much better. It's so much better than frenzy.
Reactive. Frenzy is somebody else needs to do a special for you to gain 100% turn meter.
The thing I can see happening there is it's kind of useful to use in conjunction with frenzy tech as well, because then you don't need to use what. So for any feats that you need to do, because don't forget consumables are just like all of consumables. If you don't win the battle, you keep them, right? So if you need to do stuff that requires you to do certain debuffs and you don't need to use what, you can use that frenzy tech and you can use that consumable at the start, gain a bunch of bonus turn, do all your debuffs or gain all your buffs, time it out if you need to do something like that, you know? I know it's not ideal because you end up wasting energy.
Right.
But you can, it can really help with certain feats.
Energy spent moving feats forward is not wasted energy. Like that's a misnomer out the gate. So it's one of those things where it's like if you're like losing battles and not doing anything productive, like then you're wasting energy. But if you're making,
if you can work on a feat and also get like data disk stuff, then you're making progress, as opposed to having to cancel out or wait for the timeout. So you're not making you're not getting gains from that.
I know some people just don't like the idea of wasting any energy, and I'm like, I agree with you, what you guys are saying. Like if you've got like a feat where you need to do 100 somethings, and you waste air quotations for those listening at home on Spotify. If you waste 20 energy, but you get 35 out of 100, 35% of the way done, that's not a waste, if you ask me. If otherwise, you would need to do that in 40 energy to get the same benefit, right?
Well, it's not even the energy. You'd have to rebuy the consumables because some of these are only one turn,
exactly,
or one battle, and so it's like you would have to buy that consumable 4 times, and that might not be a cheap one to get your hands on. You might have to be spending crystals or your very precious Conquest currency on that, especially if you're not going to be buying like the passes and stuff. So you got to buy all your Moff Gideon shards through your Conquest currency. So there's a give and take with that.
It's a calculation that you're making when you're investing in the consumables, when you're using them, when you're spending the energy, and it's just your strategy for going through Conquest, and whatever you gotta do to get it done, that's what you're gonna do. Sorry.
I was going to touch on the changes that they actually made to consumables in general. Was actually pretty cool as well.
Sure.
Because they buffed them pretty heavily right now. And you like the speed boosters now, like 50%, you can gain 50% speed and plus 20 speed. And if you've got that legendary consumable data disk, you're getting an extra 25% speed. Like, that is so much goddamn speed that you can now get. That's a hell of a lot of speed. All of a sudden, those sort of consumables make certain feats a lot easier to manage. If you have, like, say you've got, like, no gear invested in your character, and you're like, you must win this node with such and such character, but it's gear 1, level 1. All of a sudden, you throw in a bunch of these with a good team, and you can kill the entire enemy team before they take a turn. It's like, it makes a difference.
And you can use a team down lower. So if you have a team that's down to 50%, stamina left over, and then you put these consumables, you have the extra speed, the extra everything, and then you've now gotten more usability out of that one team. You don't need to sit there and wait for them to go back to 100 for them to be able to use the feats again. So
exactly.
I mean, the biggest boost is the data disk. The changes on the consumables are net positive, but the downside is that they've all been reduced to 1 battle instead of because they used to be the standards had 4, the overcharged had 2, and now everything's 1 battle. So even the standard and the overcharge are both 1. So it's a massive hit the other direction. But the legendary consumable boost, as long as you're throwing down a health or protection med pack, you're getting 25% speed. That's huge. Like that's stupid good. It's like you can throw down a 50%, it doubles to 100, and then you still get 25 speed off of that. Like sometimes just survivability, sometimes it's a speed issue. But I mean, I'm all for it. But I'm just saying, like they made positive changes, but then they really stepped back how long you can use them. So you got to buy a lot more.
I think that legendary consumable boost is going to be really nice when people are progressing through hard Sector 5, because in hard Sector 5. Like the over prepared bullshit, it almost makes it really uncomfortable to try and 3-star anything unless you're using something that either starts with a bonus turn or is a GL and can just tank out all the damage, because you're not going first unless you've got a bonus turn or whatever, you know? And like having that 25% additional speed is probably the difference in, I don't need to use a GL this time. I can go in with something else and somehow take a turn now. So,
or
hopefully.
Maybe your GL won't get outsped.
Yeah, your 100% stamina GL with 570 speed doesn't get outsped for once. But yeah.
Well, and like, when you do your amplified agony setup and stuff like that too, though, that gives you the opportunity to get in, like, to take your turn. Because it's like some teams, you just need to take a turn to win.
Yeah.
And then you're done. And so it's like, it's fine as long as you can get there. So having the ability to be like, all right, after because I know, like, when I was doing the last set, like, I could do the Geonosians fight down to, like, 70% stamina, but then after that, I just couldn't sustain through it. So I'd either have to wait for it to come back, or I'd have to, you could throw some stuff onto it. But then having this now is like, well, you could go down a lot further because you have a ton more health protection, you got a lot more speed coming with you. So I'm really interested to see which ones they sell with the Conquest Plus pass, because that's like been their driving thing for a while. Is they want people to buy that pass, and people just keep not buying it. I'm like, well, keep sweetening the pot.
I think they're getting to the point now that it doesn't seem like a complete waste of fucking money. With the plus pass, like they are sweetening the pot. To me, I don't think I'll buy it every time just yet, but I'll certainly buy it the first loop. The first loop I'll be buying.
The first loop, for as you as a content creator, that's a lot of information that you need to have access to and quickly. And that makes a good amount of sense. The other ones, it doesn't really matter, especially if you're not going to go hard in the paint on farming datacron materials. And the other thing too is if they keep up the trend, I am almost wondering if they ever do like $100 Conquest pass.
Oh, I fucking
where it's like
you shut
where
your
it's
mouth.
Like.
Don't worry, Wolfie. I'm gonna cut this section out of the Tribe Talk podcast. What is this? 1 hour and 18 minutes in. We got to cut down this section.
Cool.
Sorry, Karth, go ahead. There's no censorship here.
Technical difficulties.
Basically,
sorry everybody.
Basically, what it is, like, you get like let's say for $100 you get a free red box for that Conquest.
Oh.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I would be interested to see if they would ever push that limit, because I guarantee you.
They want
that all the feats are done. You still have to clear Conquest, which is still going to be fairly easy, but all the feats are done. So all you do is just you can red box it if you clear Sector 5.
I think they still want the screen engagement time. I don't know if they ever go and just say, "Hey, you can."
Yeah, but then they go
pay not interact with this game mode like fucking.
But you know how many whales would spend to save that time?
Oh, I'm well aware.
Just so they can sim immediately.
All of them?
They still need their screen engagement time. So I mean, this is still they got their metrics, man. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but Conquest is not a place. That's a place where they're trying to lower screen engagement time, not increase it.
Really? Oh.
I mean, yeah, they're nothing about them wants to increase Conquest screen time because it's
totally.
such a
Those 100 battles with 100 kills with Tusken Warrior does not tell me they want to increase my screen engagement time. Yeah, not at all. Oh,
no, but look at all the things they're doing to support that.
It's so easy to get done.
Yeah, but I mean, look at all the things they're changing to support
guys.
that, though. They're doing a lot of things with the consumables and everything else that makes it easier to get around this stuff now.
I know.
So they are making changes. They still have their structure, but I mean, it's for a lot of the bigger accounts. Once you breach 11 million, a Conquest is not a question of can I red box anymore. Conquest is a question of how long do I want it to take.
Well, I mean,
that's it.
Like, in my experience, Conquest has never been a case of can I red box. And like when Conquest, that's even going back to when Conquest first came out, and when it first came out, I think I was only 5 million GP or 6 million GP or something like that. So I only just made the cut. I say just made the cut. But I think there's still plenty of people that are struggling to red box Conquest with like 4 or 5 million GP.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because you don't have the depth for it, let alone.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not a given to everybody across all walks of life, but certainly at the top end of the game, people that are in Kyber, 1 or 2 probably, should definitely be red boxing without any real sweat, right?
Yeah.
Because they should have the rosters to support it. And if they don't have the rosters to support it, then they've probably got the know-how to get it done one way or another, right? Because there's always a way that you can, fudge your characters to make them work.
Cheese something.
There's always a cheese strat, and I'll have them all on my YouTube channel. So make sure you guys listening at home go over to my YouTube channel and hit subscribe now, and then watch every single one of my videos on 0.25 speed, like and comment on all of it, because I need to buy a new Conquest pass and I need like $30, guys. So please help a brother out. Scribble needs to make bread. Just saying. Shameless plug. Shameful plug? I'm not sure. But yeah, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way if you've got a half-decent roster. We've got a 14 million GP player now, and it's not Karth. We're still struggling on that.
900k to go to even get there. You know how much I would need to relic in my roster?
Yeah, 900k for me is like, I'll get GL Leia and Afra, and I'll be most of the way there. That's like 500,000 at the very least, right? But for Karth to get 900k, he's like, wait, what do I upgrade? Everything's Relic 5.
Everything from 5 to Relic 6. Done.
It doesn't even... That might net me about 1,000 GP per character, and I have 22 characters that are below Relic 7 right now. So it's like... that if I took all of those characters to Relic 7, I might gain 100k.
I thought you were gonna say below Relic 5 or like Relic 5 or lower, not below Relic. Fuck me.
No, I have nothing in my roster below Relic 5. Everything is Relic 5 plus in my roster.
Jesus. Oh my god. It's just, this is how some people live, guys. It's like until they bring out something else, something that's not relic levels and not gear related, that is another form of progression for characters, Karth is not going to be able to get another 900,000 GP for a while.
I mean, it's just more
pour
characters.
Some out for my poor boy Karth.
The next ship will get me, I mean, depending on what they do for the next fleet, will get me close. The next, legendary events always bring a couple 100k. It just depends on what we do moving forward, But
just needs like 5 or 6 more new capital ships to come through, okay?
No, I would need like 1 legendary character that had at least 4 characters as a requirement, and then like maybe 1 more capital ship that has like 3 or 4 new ships that come with it. Because ships bring a lot of GP to your roster.
They do.
Yeah, they had a lot.
Leviathan for the average account was a 400k bloat. So
it was huge.
That's And that we're just talking about what came from the ships that you unlocked, not even all the relics on your pilots. So
yeah, I mean, like genuinely, when like in 2 weeks, I've bloated about 200 plus K just from Slacker and all the bloat that went into the ships as a result of it. You know, because like all the finalizer requirements, getting all those relic levels, I was like, oh shit, I've gained like 220k GP in 2 weeks from just that alone. I'm like, okay, well that's a lot of wasted GP. I mean, it's not wasted GP, but you know what I mean, it's
it doesn't matter for matchmaking anymore. So I mean, that's the old school GAC thinking coming back into play.
That's a lot of help for TB deployment, I guess. I mean,
it's
that 200k
more of an advantage for you to win a tie.
Yes. I'll remember that the next time I have more GP than my opponents in GAC. I don't think that's happened in... I don't think that's happened.
A long That's because you didn't have Slacker. Done. Easy. Now you're good.
Now you've got the GP. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Drex is right. It helps with TW matchmaking so that we can hit that higher tier with less people signing up for TW. Great.
We can beat up more children.
so we can beat on some kids like we did today. Or yesterday, technically, and a little bit of today. That was funny.
Yeah. I don't know when we wrapped up.
Did they clear like six characters? Not sections. They didn't even clear a wall. They cleared six teams.
We were down to like I think 11 Reva teams left, so they cleared out like 25. But I mean, like almost every single Reva we had multiple holds.
Yeah.
They cleared about 20 of our front wall teams, and we had a few left over. And
it's you almost feel bad, but then I'm just like, give me my materials. So almost feel bad. But we've had 2 back-to-back TWs where we got beat pretty soundly, so I'll take the free match this time.
Well, the first one we did, we were the punching bag for that fight because they were on their lose streak and they got matched with us. The second one, we had 43 people sign up and maybe 35 people show up for TW.
Oh, that was so annoying.
We're still working in a work in progress on getting some of that stuff sorted because they cleared 9. There's 9 left, so they cleared 27.
27.
That was it.
I was just happy. I checked in just now, and my Reva team is still held preloaded with 2 teams on defense. With two holds. Sorry. So I was like, yeah. So I'll take it.
Well played.
Mm-hmm. That's actually something I've been taking to offense now, is Reva. Because I decided that Reva with Lord Vader on defense is no longer worth it, and I feel like Reva on defense in general is no longer worth it because they're just going to Traya it, man. It's like they'll Traya it and they'll win that fight, and I might as well save Reva to have myself another potential GL counter. So why not? It can take out stuff like Jabba. Why not? It can take out JML that I never see on defense. Why not? So, yeah.
It can take out a lot of stuff, but like I almost feel like I'm running out of defense teams. Like, what do you even put on defense anymore? Because everything is just getting beaten.
It's a weird place right now.
Slap everything around,
There are so many, like, non-GL counters to GLs right now that even me, I put 4 GLs on defense in GAC 5v5 right now. All my North Wall is just GLs. You know what I mean? And people can still clear that shit. So, I guess...
It feels very weird.
It does feel weird. I've been taking to hiding Malos in the back wall south because I'm thinking they'll see all the GLs in the north wall. Maybe they'll think I need all my GLs for that, or I need a lot of my off-meta counters for that. They'll clear the south and then they'll be surprised by a Malos on the back wall, and it's not held. Ever. But I also, and it's not a bad Malos team. It's not with Maul, because I feel like I can't afford to put Maul on that team. But it's still good, it's a Relic 8 Malos with 2 Omicrons and a good Datacron, and the whole team is at least Relic 7, so But he still gets beat. He still gets one tapped. I want to check my GAC history to see what people have been using.
Everybody's saving Traya for that, or they've taken Malgus off defense to deal with it.
Well, the thing is like Traya is not a 100% cert against Malos. It isn't. It can lose. Like I lost with it last round. I granted my Traya is not amazing,
sure.
but
I tried it. The first time I tried, I killed 2 characters, and then Seer just had her way with me. She's just like,
it comes down to
percentage health damage.
Can you survive that long enough?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what everyone's doing. They're moving Malgus off of defense to deal with Seer because it's just the easiest counter that doesn't require a GL, because otherwise you got to go in with C. But I mean, if you're not forcing your opponent to use C or Traya in the front wall, then I mean they've got options to deal with. With it. So it's not a hard team to deal with if you're just moving counters around. Because if you take Malgus off defense and leave Seer down, well then there goes something that would typically use the C to counter. So
yeah. I mean, my C is almost exclusively reserved to just kill Malgus. Like,
yeah, pretty frequently Malgus teams. Yeah,
it's just that's what it's there for. It kills Malgus reliably with just C what. So
I do C set with one of the 65% chance to dispel crons. And it hasn't failed yet, so we're gonna knock on wood over here.
Well, the thing is ultimately your C is basically gonna nearly be taking 2 turns for every one of theirs, so you should be able to get that dispel, right?
At some point, hopefully, yes.
I just don't have the balls to do it, Wolfie. You have bigger balls than me, so I feel like. And plus, where else am I gonna use what? I mean. Apparently, I heard Slacker likes him, but who knows?
I was about to say Slacker, and then I stopped myself.
I mean, yeah. You can get by without Slacker, but without what with Slacker, but you'll definitely need armor. You need one of the two.
That's fine. I've got a Relic 7 armor. That's fine. I can deal with that. And I don't use armor anyway right now, so she feels like a wasted unit.
The only thing is though, is for Slacker to get away with. Not having Watt in the Lord Vader counter is you need to have crew with him, because otherwise you just don't have a tank that can deal with the abuse. I mean, everyone dies at dots too fast, and you need someone that's gonna take a few punches. But crew kind of lives with Seer at the moment, so.
Yeah, so just saying, if you don't have crew in the Seer team, they're using Maul in the Seer team. They don't have Maul in your Lord Vader. It's just a whole damn puzzle, man.
We need one more Ufa.
A good one.
One that can actually tank.
The next Ufu they could bring in for a tank Ufu. Well, I mean, what would they even bring in? I'm racking my brain for another.
I mean, if they want to get really, really creative.
It's not even close. So don't even say Balin and Shin. It's way too far, way too soon for AFS to get any bit of full.
Hey, you said that next Ufu they can bring in, not when they would bring it in.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
As well.
The existence of Balin and Shin is known within the trailers. So I'm just preempting.
I'm just preempting in case we get carried away. Yeah. I don't want us to accidentally spoil something. You know?
Thank you for checking. No, it's good to check. Good to remember. Yeah, I love it. Get your shit together.
I'd absolutely love to see those 2 characters in the game. By the way, that would be fucking huge. They are so cool. Like, I'm sorry, but Balin just steals every scene he's in.
Amazing.
Top notch. Just if we could, I would be like, okay, no more Ahsoka show. I would like to have the Balin show now. That's the whole series is just him.
I would prefer if Balin hijacked the rest of the Ahsoka series like Mando did to Book of Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, for the one episode that we've got left as the time of this recording. It's like, and we know, unfortunately, very unfortunately, that there will be no more Balin.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that they will probably use some AI to fill in the gap in between, and then they'll write him out. Yes, but
well, I mean that's gone. Whether or not he gave consent to that, or if his estate gives consent to that.
100% depends on what his contract says.
Well, exactly.
We'll see what happens at the end of this year. So. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. We still got an episode left. We'll see what happens. You know, if Balin makes it,
I'm excited for this.
We'll see.
I'm genuinely, just to go slightly off kilter again, still no spoilers, but I'm genuinely concerned. Yes. I don't know how they're going to tie up this season in one more episode. I'm a little bit like, how?
Yeah, it's not designed. It's going to be a
big cliffhanger. It's going to be a big setting up for the next season. You know, things are going to happen, and people will be in certain places.
Well,
I believe, and some people may not be in certain places.
Some other shows were supposed to help
no
fill
spoilers.
the gap.
Yeah. So stuff and things, basically, guys. Stuff
Skeleton Crew was designed. Skeleton Crew was designed to fill the gap on some of the narrative points between, but it's been delayed. So there are things that we're not going to get in the time frame we should have. So it's going to be like a long wash in between, but there were other different shows that were going to help move that ball along as to kind of satiate you a little bit between the end of this series and the beginning of whatever he decides to do next. Because I don't know if they want to do an Ahsoka part 2 or if they want to literally just lead into a movie.
Like, as much as I really do appreciate interconnected stories and I like everything building to a big crescendo, but sometimes it feels like we just kind of need a complete story in one location. I'd be quite happy for something to have a start, a middle, and an end. I'm okay with that as well. Not everything has to be like the MCU, where it's just...
You go tell Disney to quit putting Marvel on everything.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's the problem. That's the problem. That's what was so satisfying about stuff like Endgame, right? Infinity War and Endgame, was it felt like a proper culmination, a proper completion of stories and like tying everything up, which was nice, and it felt like a big payoff. Right. But right now, it just feels like we're constantly in the phase of, hey, none of your seasons have got a satisfying ending, so deal with it. I was like, God damn it.
They do like their cliffhangers. That is for sure.
They do. Yeah. But what we were talking about unaligned Force users and who they could bring into the game to flesh out some of those teams. And I don't know. Like, I mean, firstly, we need to establish that unaligned Force users within Galaxy of Heroes are basically people that don't identify as Jedi or Sith, but have control of the Force. They are Force-sensitive individuals that do not identify as Jedi or Sith. I think it's safe to say that Balin and Shin fit that descriptor.
100%. Easily. I mean, other random... I'm trying to think. Like, I'm racking my brain for who else they could bring in who would really complete those teams aside from...
I mean, Jedi Survivor characters would be the ones I would go to. You could have Bode. You could have a new...
I still haven't technically played
Garen.
I'm an asshole.
So you could have a new Seer. There are options. In the Jedi Survivor era, there are things they could choose from on that one if they wanted to bring in UFAs. I don't know if they will go down that road again, but that's the closest bit of canon. The only other stuff we could do is they could pull some of the stuff from Tales of the Jedi, but there's really not a lot unless you just want like, here's a light side Count Dooku, here's Padawan Qui-Gon. Like there's a couple things they could do like that, but they could.
I'm okay with that.
But obviously what's coming next is, it definitely feels like we're just moving on to Mando Season 3 content right now, with Moff Gideon coming out and 2 unknown marquees coming as well, so it's probably going to be Mando Season 3 stuff, right?
Mando Season 3 stuff, or the next, whatever.
It's Mando Season 3.
Yeah,
the legacy stuff is coming, but that's still that won't come out until the puzzle drops, and the puzzle's not expected to be here until at least the charity stream, which is the end of the month. So my guess is that they are still planning on releasing 2 characters in October. And then we will have, that'll give us the groundwork that they want. And then we'll do the legendary event. That'll drain all your resources. And then we'll start the next legendary event for going into spring.
Okay.
Which is my guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not sure who we're going to get from these. Like, if it was going to be Mando Season 3 content, marquees that we get, the next 2, let's say.
Are we still waiting for Mando Season 2 content? Like, do we have, like,
they gave us
Beskar Spear Mando?
We didn't get him.
We're not going to get him either.
It seems pointless to give him, to be honest.
If they were going to give us
Mando team, damn it!
If they were going to give us a Beskar, another Beskar Mando, it would be a Darksaber Mando. If they were going to do another iteration of it, but
this is my only issue with it. Is it just feels like such a waste to do a Darksaber Mando, because it's like, okay, here's a Mando that can barely lift the Darksaber, and then he gives it away anyway. So. Enjoy it.
I mean, yes, 100%.
He just like trips over.
The reality is that my guess is that if the two Mandalorian characters that I would guess next would be Axe and Vizsla.
Paz Vizsla. Give me Paz Vizsla. And if he does not have some form of like sacrifice mechanic, I riot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be leading towards some sort of. I mean, if they wanted to make Bokatan into like a new faction leader, they would probably make her either the Conquest unit. So this is where my head's at for the next one. Is I don't see enough characters to pull from unless they really want to go beat a dead horse on nostalgia for them to pull characters from. Updated characters from Season 3 of Mando. What I would see them doing is potentially giving us a couple more characters that would be farmable by the time the next Conquest starts, so when Moff Gideon ends. And then Bo-Katan would be the counterpart to that.
Yeah, and well, it's about goddamn time they give us a light side Conquest unit.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But that's where my head would be, because that would make the sense for limited marquees. You're not, and it just doesn't make sense to plan enough to make a Mando Season 3
legendary. You mean
legendary? I just don't know who you would pull from that'd be worth the investment. It's like, thinking back over the show, there's just not enough. Like,
are you saying that you don't want Jack Black and Lizzo as characters in Galaxy of Heroes?
Well,
no,
we do.
Never.
We do need. Okay, let's be honest here. If we don't get IG-12, what is it? Baby Yoda.
That's such a meme unit that would be so stupid.
It's gotta happen.
We've literally only got one Baby Yoda in the game right now. Technically,
we have two.
I guess. That's not enough. Neither of them are playable characters. Neither of them are playable characters. Can of worms. So we need a playable Baby Yoda.
Have Grogu do the Force shield. That's something he can actually do, which is actually useful. Have him do a Force push, which is like confuses enemies or something.
Team.
These are actually things he can do. Like, we can make a real Baby Yoda team.
Yeah, but you're just building a brand new BAM team again, which they
can't wait.
Why? Why would you want to?
Yes.
I'm with Wolfie on this one. Give me IG-12. Give me IG-12, baby. I want him. I want him to say yes.
I mean, I just want, if they're gonna do it, give me a brand new setup for it, right? Do a team that's not designed to bleed into the Bo-Katan stuff, because that's what I don't want to have happen, and just have this really half mustard team put together. But it's what it is. I'm like, we already have a lot of good light side Mandos. We don't need a ton to swap over to this new thing. We just need basically Paz Vizsla to replace Canderous Ordo. You need Axe Wolves to basically replace Django.
Paz can even take Canderous's minigun. They don't even need to rebuild any assets. He can literally use the same goddamn gun.
Well, it's not. He needs to add the backpack and little chain from it to the Baze's kit, and then it would look great.
Yeah.
But yeah, they replace those, and then Bokatan replaces Maul, and then we can finally split the two, and we don't have to worry about having to figure out what to do with, do we keep Maul and Vader together? We don't. But yeah, that makes the most sense to me, and I don't think they're going to get too far into Mando Season 3 stuff, because there's just not a ton to pull from, unless
I don't think there's enough.
They want to go back down the road of building a brand new faction out, which, what faction do you use? There's still going to be scoundrels. It's just going to be a lot of factions that's like, if so-and-so's an ally, then these things take effect. If this person's an ally, then these things take effect. So
that's the game we live in, buddy.
Boring. Yeah, those are boring kits, because they're so hemmed in.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer kits that at least have characters usable.
Yeah, but
I mean,
all the same. I'm excited.
A lot of the new kits, they really like to dictate the things, and they say, "Oh, you need to use this person with this scheme." It feels like it takes a lot of agency out of the the character, out of the player's hands. I mean, you think about, I know we're getting nostalgic over here, but you think about the old days with like the Thrawn and like the old the old, what was it, the Titans team? What was the old Titans it was just
sorry,
I just gotta say, made no sense. Sorry, go on.
No, just because you mentioned Thrawn, I was just like, the old days where you think of Thrawn in literally any fucking team, because he was just that good.
Because he was that fucking good. Synergy didn't matter. It wasn't. Their characters didn't matter. Like, what they were in the game didn't really matter. It was just like, your ability works over here, and you can work over here, and we can theory craft something, and it was great. A lot of these new teams, it's just, I know buddy of mine, everybody fucking knows Dagger at this point, but he was like basically saying yawn to the new Gideon team, because it's a very prescribed, use this team, and this is your lineup, and you will use this, and this will be a thing. It's not that interesting. It's not like a whole lot going on. I mean, maybe if you use Gideon as an ally on Lord Vader, but even then, we got a cool new Conquest unit, and he's a Lord Vader lifter. It feels like they're, I mean, they're either designing themselves into a corner, or they're just telling us what to do too much, and
you speak of Gideon. One of the very few instances of proper theory crafting is, I love the fact that Gideon and Traya makes a very unique bit of theory crafting that just lowers damage really well. That is actually a cool bit of theory crafting that hasn't been, stamped out enough, because it isn't like, it's not game breaking. It's just kind of neat, I think.
It's one of those things where it's like, you can reduce their damage to 1, but you still can't kill them. So it's like, all you've done
Malos is there for.
I mean, yeah, if you can cycle the turns fast enough, but that's still in 5 minutes. That can be a lot, depending on who you're fighting and what their sustains are, and what their kits and abilities are, and things of that nature.
Yeah, but I like that sort of thing, because it's just a neat bit of interaction that they try to stamp out as much as possible these days, and I understand why. It's because when you've got a roster of characters that's this broad, with this many powerful leaderships and uniques and stuff like that, they do have to be very careful about what they let work together. Because otherwise, you just make monsters. Monsters are always good.
To counter my own point, we're playing a very different game than we did a few years ago. The power levels increased so much. The kits have gotten way more complex. There's a lot more shit going on than it was just like, you have a 65% chance to apply this useless fucking debuff on your basic. Ha ha ha! Congratulations. The game's come a long fucking way since then.
Your basic has a 65% chance to apply defense down. You're like, great, cheers.
Cool. Yeah, good talk.
Can't wait. Yeah. And what is it? Is it Plo Koon's leadership ability, which is like, it will de-stealth one random enemy that's stealthed every turn, and if you do it, you gain offense up. But that's like his entire leadership.
There's some really
at the start of your turn, if there's an enemy that's stealthed, you have a chance to dispel it, and then you gain offense up. It's like, all right. I mean, cool.
It's cool.
It's great.
I don't get it, but it's cool. I guess.
Each ally has a 55% chance to remove stealth from each enemy at the start of their turn. if they dispel any enemies, they gain offense up for 1 turn.
I was nearly right.
Like I say, we're playing a very, very different game than we were a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but there's a reason why they don't come back and touch these things up at all. They touched up Plo Koon to basically make his basic be a permanent dispel, and then that was it. That's all they've done to him. And he's actually still a very usable character because dispel on basic is a very powerful ability.
It is.
Oh, yeah. It's huge, actually. It's one of the best.
Absolutely.
I'm always a fan of them finding ways to utilize old characters into new squads and bring the viability back up without having to, just be like, oh yeah, by the way, farm 5 new characters for this new team. Otherwise, he doesn't do anything good. So I'm fine with them doing that kind of stuff. I do wish to a degree that they would revisit some of these kits and kind of build out new homes again, because like we've talked about before, Padme doesn't really have a GR to lead anymore. Jedi is kind of this really hemmed in, all the power gets taken by a few characters, a few of the leads, and then JML, JKR, our Kenobi takes quite a few Jedi. It's like you're pulling all the good stuff out, and then all the trash tier underneath is just kind of like barely hanging together. And I mean, the only reason why even Qui-Gon's team does anything is because of the Omicron. It's like if you tried doing the OG before the Omicron lineup with Qui-Gon and Cam and Anakin and stuff like that, with a couple of support healers, you just didn't have the teeth to do anything worth your time. It's like, who cares if Barriss can hit for 40k on a basic? She'll never crit. You can't really hurt anybody, and if the second you get somebody with comparable investment against the team, they'll beat it into the floor. And so it's I'm okay with them doing some things that are hemmed in, but it's kind of like how Leia's kit works out right now, right? Is basically it's like you are an idiot if you don't take Grogan and R2 with her, because they're hard coded into her kit,
right?
On how they function back and forth. The other two is kind of a weird game of what do you want to do, right? Because it's more about what teams you're fighting and what mechanics
do here.
What mechanics do you want to counter or stack up upon or whatever else? Because there's a lot of interesting things that are causing problems for the different lineups that you face. For whatever reason, having Ami Princess Leia is giving Reva and JML some heartache versus Leia.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Why?
That just gives me a reason or an excuse to invest in Princess Leia. I don't need that right now, Carl.
I mean, for GAC, it's probably
the return of Princess Scribble.
But I mean, it just depends on what happens long term. But it's like there's I'm okay with some things being prescriptive and having things be there, but I do kind of wish we would get a little bit more of characters who are a little bit more plug and play in theory craft, but I know why they don't. I mean, you take the lid off that cookie jar and you just make so much chaos. They don't need
take
more
the lid off the cookie jar
and
everybody gets diabetes. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, Thrawn has one of the most OP debuffs in the entire game. And it's so powerful that they actually had to write it as an exemption clause in every GL's kit.
Think about Hux. Hux was stopping turn meter gains, and it was so fucking powerful. They were like, "Oh, hold up, limited to full first order."
Yeah.
When they make the plug and play characters that can do things like that, they just go to a power level that they do not foresee. Like they just very easily. The community has shown time and time again that the actual theory crafters, the people who know what they're fucking doing, the people who sit there and analyze all these kits and can figure these things out, they figure out uses for these teams that CG can just absolutely not even remotely think of what they're testing. So they bring something and make it open for usage, and the community is like, all right, hold my beer, we got this. And then CG is like, all right, we're investigating this interaction. Because
this isn't working as intended. God damn it.
Just how it goes. So yeah, I guess that's a good way to help limit their exposure to that sort of shit. Or else it'd be every damn release.
Yeah.
Every damn release.
Yeah. As much as we like it when we can do kooky shit that's off the wall, taking in CLS and beating jabbers and that sort of business. They want to control. They don't want to make it completely rife, even though there are still plenty of off-meta counters. I know I spoke about it earlier, but I still think Starkiller is too reliable.
He's so good.
He is so very good, and I use that counter every GAC. I'm not moaning. I don't think I've ever lost with Starkiller versus Rey. Maybe once. I've not even timed out, but like I appreciate that I often operate sort of low Kyber 1, high Kyber 2, so I'm not always facing the accounts with good Rays necessarily, but hey. Is what it is. Is what it is.
Fair enough.
All right. Anything you guys want to touch on before we wrap up then?
I think we've touched on a lot of things. I think we're pretty much okay. Anything else, Mr. Carthag over there?
No, I think I'm solid.
That's what we all want to hear. Carthrick is solid. Oh yeah, baby. All right, cool. On that bombshell, I'm going to wrap up today's episode of Tribe Talks. I know it's a little bit shorter, but we had a few time constraints today, guys. Hopefully next week we'll be on for at least 3 hours, which is exactly what Mrs. Scribble expects of me every Sunday as well. Live for 3 hours. Let's go. Oh, yeah, she doesn't listen to this podcast. I can get away with a joke like that. Nobody tag her. It'll be up on Spotify. It'll be up on iTunes. And, of course, on the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we will see you all in a week's time. Peace out, guys. Love you all.
Cheers.